These are 5 high-paying jobs I wish I knew about when I was pivoting from finance to tech. Also works if you're coming from consulting. I've interviewed for all of these and done like 3 of them in tech and startups, so I'll tell you what you do in the job, how you break in, and which one I think is best. This is part of my high-paying jobs for career pivoters series where I tell you about jobs that pay 6 figures or more for people from a ton of different backgrounds. First one is corporate development or corp dev. You're basically doing your investment banking job, but working internally for one client instead of multiple. So if you work in corp dev at Google and Google is trying to acquire an AI startup, you might be building a model for the deal, doing due diligence, structuring the terms, etc. It's relatively easy to break in because these roles will look for investment banking experience. So I had pretty good luck when I was cold applying after investment banking and got a lot of interviews. The second one is strategy and ops or biz ops. Here you're like a SWAT team or internal consultant that a CEO can send to work on their top priorities across the company. I got an offer to do this at DoorDash after banking. Basically, the job would have been evaluating new products and markets to launch, building a business case, and getting it done. It's a pretty good exit for investment bankers, but I would brush up on consulting type cases since you are essentially an internal consultant in this job. The third one is product management or product marketing. They require similar skill sets. Essentially, as a product manager, you're working with engineers to develop a new product. As a product marketer, you're then bringing that product to market with positioning, messaging, pricing, etc. This one is a little bit harder to pivot to in investment banking, especially if you don't have a STEM degree or other technical experience. But I've seen people do it, and I think the best is to focus on companies in the industry that you cover and network with startups. The fourth one is business development or sales. Most people don't think of this as an exit opportunity for finance or consulting, but I think that bankers and consultants make great salespeople, especially if you're at a higher level, because you're focusing on relationship building, deal structuring, negotiation. There's a lot of transferable skills. The last one is chief of staff, and I think this is one of the best roles for people coming from finance or consulting and pivoting to tech, especially if you don't know what you want to do next. In this role, you're essentially the go-to person for a CEO or a senior leader, so you get staffed on all kinds of different projects across the company, from marketing, sales, operations, product, you name it. It's a great way to gain the trust of a senior leader at a company to then be able to figure out what you're interested in and then pivot into that later on. A lot of these roles already look for banking and consulting experience. I would just focus on networking with a senior leader who's hiring for the job.